Let's jump right in with our panelists. Former Georgia Congressman Doug Collins and Mike Davis, a former law clerk to Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch. Gentlemen, welcome.
Good to be here.
All right, Doug, let me start with you first. A Civil War statute used once in a while for hate crimes, really? And yet for so many on the left, this is the case that they think can really nail Trump. But let me actually read Section 242 of Title 18 and get your thought. It makes it a crime for a person acting under the color of any law to willfully deprive a person of a right or privilege protected by the Constitution or laws of the United States. That sounds like just about everything. But here's the kicker. It's punishable by up to life in prison or the death penalty. What is going on here?
Well, Smith's very used to using novel legal terms, as we call it, to go after people. We saw that in Virginia when he went after the governor and was overturned unanimously on that. This one, again, is a stretch because most of what's being said here is after the fact, after the election, you know, if they're going at it at all. And I think this is the concern that most have when you look at this and you're having to come up with these different charges. They're just seeing this is trying to take a scenario, fit it into crime so that it can be charged in a way that will take, you know, Donald Trump off the political map. And I think that's really the whole issue here as you're looking at it. But again, this is why these cases are going to be challenged, why Donald Trump's legal team is going to be able to fight these things very much from a big perspective, because again, you're trying to, you know, it's one thing, prosecutions ought to take the scenario, the facts, and then they know what crime to be charged. They don't take crimes and figure them out and say, well, we'll just put these facts with it and make it up. And I think that's what feels like is being happening. I think that's what the American people are seeing right now.
So, Mike, the Jack Smith playbook seems to be like, you know, pluck out an obscure statute, interpret it real broadly, and apply it to a political target. Is that what's happening here?
This is a total farce by Garland special counsel Jack Smith. As Doug said, Jack Smith is used to being overturned unanimously by the Supreme Court, but the damage is done. And that's the point. He's going to try to take out another Republican presidential candidate like he did with Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell, a likely presidential candidate in 2016, and wait several years for the Supreme Court to overturn his nonsensical legal theory. But again, the damage is done. That's the play here. This is lawfare against President Trump because Biden fears he can't beat him in November 2024.
So, Doug, in the final 30 seconds or so, you're a football fan. I see the University of Georgia football above your shoulder there. Is this like Jack Smith, you know, late in the game, he needs a trick play and a touchdown and just a whole bunch of audibles and laterals, just something crazy to try to pull off a miracle here?
Yeah, probably so. I mean, but again, I wouldn't also be surprised if Jack Smith and this group have actually held back some things that they may try later if they feel like they don't get the shake that they won't, say, in Florida or the Wells. I don't think they're over with this. They put too much time and money into it to do so. But one quick thing, jumping back to Biden for a second, as the last judiciary member, ranking member to actually go through an impeachment farce with the Democrats, Kevin McCarthy is exactly right. By doing it properly, the impeachment process can go forward, and they act as a trial, essence, a trial court gives them access to subpoenaable documents, which they normally would never have access to. If someone had to listen to Jerry Nadler try to explain how he could when he wasn't doing it the right way, I'm glad to see Kevin McCarthy doing it the right way.
Doug Collins, Mike Turner, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it.